Hello guys, welcome back to Zoopedia. I am Shweta Yadav from RJ College. My topic is menstrual cycle. So, let's begin. The female reproductive system undergoes a complex cycle regulated by a series of hormones. When an ovum is unfertilized, the uterus lining sheds and relates to a hemorrhage called menstruation. The cycle of these changes occurs in women every month, called the menstrual cycle. The period from one menstrual cycle to another can vary from 28 to 30 days. The menstruation starts from the age of 10 to 15 when the girl attains the puberty. The beginning of the cycle is known as menarche, while the ending is known as menopause, which takes place at the age range of 50. As the girl reaches the puberty, the hormones stimulate the development and release of one ovum per month. The female reproductive system and organ involved in this cycle mainly include pair of ovaries, uterus, and the pair of fallopian tubes connecting the ovaries and uterus. The phases of menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is divided into four phases, namely the menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase, luteal phase. The menstrual phase. It is characterized by breakdown of endometrium and bleeding from vagina. It is called as the bleeding phase. In the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. This brings the level of progesterone down, resulting in breakdown of endometrium, causing the bleeding. The endometrial debris and unfertilized oocyte is also released out in the menstrual blood. This phase lasts for about 3 to 7 days with an average of 5 days. Follicular phase. This phase is also called as the repair phase. Once the menstrual bleeding ceases, the anterior lobe of pituitary releases the follicle stimulating hormone FSH. Under the influence of FSH, the ovarian follicle development starts. As the follicle grows, the thecal cells start secreting estrogen. With the increase in FSH and estrogen, the endometrium repairs and again starts thickening. The uterus starts preparation for the pregnancy. The ovulatory phase. On the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, the pituitary gland produces high amount of luteinizing hormone. This causes the release of secondary oocyte from the follicle. This is called as the ovulation. The ovulation takes place from 14th to 17th day. The end of the follicular phase along with the ovulation period defines the fertilization period. The luteal phase. This phase is also marked by lower levels of FSH and LH to avoid development of more follicles. In the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates into corpus albicans. As the level of progesterone falls, the endometrium breaks down and the menstrual phase begins again. In case of fertilization, the corpus luteum remains functional and the level of progesterone is maintained. Now, roles of hormones. Every phase of the menstrual cycle is influenced by a female hormone, namely estrogen, progesterone, FSH, and LH. The secretion of FSH and LH gradually increases during the follicular phase. They stimulate the development of follicles and the release of estrogen from them. As you can see in the upper graph, the level of LH and FSH peaks in the middle of the cycle. The LH induces the ovulation. Now let's see the second graph of estrogen and progesterone. The estrogen stimulates the proliferation of the endometrium. The ruptured follicle develops into the corpus luteum which secretes progesterone. The progesterone is required for the maintenance of the endometrium for implantation. In the absence of fertilization, the progesterone level decreases. This leads to the disintegration of the endometrium and menstrual flow occurs. Now let's have a look on this video. Thanks for watching. Like and share the video and subscribe to